Hi everyone, this is Anne and welcome back to Break for 8. So today, like I promised, we're going to turn our attention to something a little more fun and light because yes, it is still possible to have fun even in the midst of dementia. I think the biggest barrier to fun is just how busy life can be. So honestly, it does take a little bit of intention to maybe even schedule a little bit of happiness into the day just to make sure we don't lose sight of that side of us that can experience joy. And I am not talking about a lot of time here, maybe just 8 minutes, like you're doing right now, but it's a break for 8 for joy or for pleasure or for fun, right? Our culture is so focused on time. And the first thing that gets thrown out the window when we don't have time is usually our leisure activity, enjoyment. And I have said this before, I think people living with dementia really have this superpower that we can tap into, and that's the ability to just fully live in the present moment. So if we can kind of turn maybe a negative into a positive by just escaping our life for a little bit, joining them in their moments. And this may sound a little bit nuts, but when I do this, sometimes dementia care actually feels therapeutic for me. And this is why I'm such an advocate for engagement, because engagement benefits not only the person with dementia, but the care partner too, especially if we can find activities that are interesting for them, but also for us. So of course, we're going to think about your person's preferences and interests when sort of trying to figure out what kind of activities to do together, but also consider what interests you. So if your person loves looking at picture books of farm equipment and you are totally bored out of your mind, save that activity for a time when they're alone. But do think of something that you can do together that's enjoyable for both of you, things that are interesting for you. So I'm going to give you a few examples here, and these are all really simple, they're inexpensive, and they're not very time consuming. And I will say, if you have a loved one who's living with dementia, but you're not the primary care partner, instead of just maybe sending that person a list of ideas or this video, maybe bring an activity with you when you visit and try it out, kind of experiment for that primary care partner. Or if you're from out of town, maybe make a little care package full of some things they can try out together that might be kind of fun. So here's an idea. Bubbles, blowing bubbles. Doesn't take a lot of ability, but it is kind of fun and silly, right? Another idea. Now that it is fall here, I live in Minnesota, we have a ton of apples. And it's kind of fun to grab a few different varieties and bring them home and do a little taste test. Figure out, which ones you guys like the best. It's kind of a fun activity. That taste test activity is one you could do with, a ton of different things. This is an obvious one, but it is one that stands the test of time. Put on some music you both like, or you can sing along to it, or maybe you play a little game of name that tune. I had this great client who could, despite the fact that he, pretty severe dementia, he could name a Frank Sinatra tune within 8 seconds. I timed him. It was spectacular, and it just brought a smile to everyone around us. So songs, music, fabulous activities. Reminiscing together, home movies that don't just involve your person, but maybe yourself too. Or maybe you're looking through a photo album about some of your favorite memories you did together, a trip, or pictures of you and your siblings from a long time ago, kind of memories that you both share. So they're interesting to you as well. How about this one? A water gun or Nerf gun target practice. That's easy and fun. Or maybe if your person is into sports, how about looking at the highlight reels from the most recent game, or maybe it's a game from 3 years ago. Those highlight reels are really easy for them to follow, and they're fun for both of you, right? Cornhole, where you throw a beanbag in a hole, that game, super fun. Or maybe it's some kind of modified version, like crumpling up paper, throwing it into a garbage can, or maybe it's like socks into a laundry basket, kind of those tossing games. Or if you kind of are craving more social interaction, explore memory cafes that are in your area. These are like coffee spots that are designed for people living with dementia and their care partners. Adult coloring pages. Maybe this sounds childish to you, but you know what? So many adults are now coloring again because it's just such a kind of a calming Zen activity. You know, you get print off some pretty complex designs, get some nice colored pencils, and away you both go. Many communities also have, again, on the more social side, choirs that are composed of people living with dementia or Alzheimer's disease and their care partners. Or, you know, how about this? Back scratch or scalp massage exchange. That's pretty easy to do for most people too. The point is, just think of something that is not only interesting to them, but also interests you, so you can kind of lose yourself in just a few moments of joy. And I mean just a few minutes a day. And doing so, you know, you get respite in return. You receive something back. So I hope today, giving you a few simple, sometimes silly ideas just to lighten the mood and lighten yourself. I hope it, you know, helps you do this as you go about your day. So if you try to actually schedule this, then you actually might find something that you can begin to incorporate into your daily routine. So for example, I have a coaching client who sits down every morning with an easier crossword puzzle that he and his wife work through together. She always did the New York Times puzzle before dementia came, but he always found that really too complicated and time-consuming. But the easy version is enjoyable for both of them, and doing it to get that together just forces him to sit down, take a coffee break, and just work on the puzzle together. And that's kind of become part of their routine, something they both find joy in. So let's just continue on this theme of lightness today as we turn to our meditation. The opposite of lightness, if I think about it, is tightness. So today, let's just start by getting comfy on your chair, on your sofa. Just close your eyes like usual. And like usual, draw your awareness to your breath. Draw it away from everything else that is going on in the room, in your home, or just in the world all around you. Just pull your awareness into your body, into yourself, as we lighten our mind. Just release any thoughts, any judgments about what's going on. Just allow your eyebrow area to relax as your mind relaxes along with that area. So let's continue releasing tightness by stretching our necks. We're going to bring our ear down to our shoulders, just stretching the side of our neck. And we're going to hold that for a few seconds here. And of course, if you have any issues with your neck, if you feel any pain when you're doing this, if anything is contraindicated in your medical history, do not do this. Just breathe along with us. So next we're going to switch to the other side and hold the stretch there. And hold for about 10 seconds. And then we're going to kind of move our neck head forward so our chin goes to your chest. And again, if there's any tightness or pain, just stop. But otherwise, feel that gentle stretch as you lengthen out the back of your neck. let's look up to the ceiling, stretching out the front of your neck. If you clench your teeth, you'll be able to feel that stretch a little bit more. And if you just want to return to any of those areas in your neck that have experienced a little more tightness, just go ahead and repeat a stretch. Maybe it's the side to side movements. Maybe it's the back. Just hold those stretches wherever you feel the need a little bit more. And now just kind of move your head from side to side. You can kind of turn your head like you're looking over your shoulders. Just gently nod and shake that head. Just experience the feeling of lightness, replacing some of the tightness in your neck. Let's move down, let's roll your shoulders, around maybe about 10 times in one direction. And then reverse directions for 10 times. Just loosening up that shoulder blade area. And now kind of try to hunch your shoulders together, like think about spreading your shoulder blades away from your spine. So your chest is contracting and your shoulder blade area is expanding. You might want to hold your hands out in front of you and look down as you do this for a little bit more of a stretch. And then let's do the reverse. Let's open up the chest now. Just stretch your arms out beside you. Kind of squeeze those shoulder blades together. Just open up your chest area. Kind of feeling that stretch throughout your chest and maybe the upper part of your arm. And then let's just go back to rolling those shoulders forward and back a few times. Again, just experiencing a loosening in that area. Sometimes we are completely unaware of all the tension and tightness we hold in our body. And if there's any area that seems like it needs a little bit more attention, just go back to that area now in your upper back and your neck and repeat the stretch that feels best to you. When we allow ourselves a little time for relaxation, sometimes we become aware of the tension, all the tension we're holding. The same thing goes for joy. By scheduling moments for pleasure, it can remind us of the lightness of life that still can be experienced, even during dementia care. We just need to remember to turn on that light more often. So I'd like to challenge you to make a new habit of lightening up just for a few minutes each day. Can you schedule in another break for 8 for joy? Try this for the next 2 weeks or so, just to establish a new habit. Doing something fun with your person that makes you both smile. Maybe it's blowing bubbles, apple tasting, or maybe it is taking a stroll down memory lane. Join them in a moment of joy and receive the gift of respite in return. I'll see you next time. You've got this.